I'd like to give a small example of how the Rebbe was medayik in Lekutei Sichos. In Lekutei Sichos, Chelik Yudalet, Parsha Sovei, page 101, there the Rebbe says that a miracle means something that happens outside of nature, beyond what's common, beyond what people are used to. But when a miraculous hanhagah continues for a long time and the person gets used to it, so from then on he doesn't feel it like a miracle. He feels as if it's like a natural thing. And the Lashon is Val derech hergil nasa teva. Like it says that hergil, something that you're used to, becomes nature. And in the Ha'aretz it says the maramokim to this is in Shvilei Amunah, and then it says Tanya Perik Mem Dalet. When this Sicha was prepared for the Likut in Tovshin Lamed Dalet to Parsha Kisovei, so there was written, they wrote that this is in Shvilei Amunah and Tanya Perik Sof Perik Yudalet. The Rebbe crossed out Sof Perik Yudalet and he changed it to Perik Mem Dalet. Not only that, he wrote next to this the word Mavhil, which means this is outrageous. How could you bring the source of Tanya Sof Perik Yudalet for this when it's really in Tanya Perik Mem Dalet? Now, when we look in Tanya Perik Yudalet, there at the end, the Alter Rebbe says concerning being Meyes Bara, that all evil is disgusting and all Gashmizdike pleasures are disgusting, and you have to have pleasure from only Ruchnias. So he says a person should think about it, and that everything in Gashmias, that's Tainuk in Gashmias is Memos, is disgusting, and Hashem is something you have to pleasure in. And then the Alter Rebbe says that even if you know that you will not reach a madrege, that this will really become your madrege be'emes lamite, it'll only be an imagination. Still, you have to do yours to fulfill what the Eibishter said. Tzadik v'alti rosh, and the Eibishter will do his. And then he adds v'eid, and also sha'hergel are called dvar shilton, that when you get used to something, that controls the nasa teva sheni, and it becomes a second nature. And then he continues, and when you will get used to being Mamayis Bera, it'll become really Be'emes Nimis Bera. That's what it says in Sof Perik Yudalet. In Perik Mem Dalet, the Alter Rebbe speaks a similar thing. He says that you have to be Mizbeinen, and that will bring out the Ava Meseteres, the hidden love that the Yid has to the Eibishter that comes from Moshe Rabbeinu. It'll come out Begilui. And then he says that it should be rogel al l'sheine kele leira kavanas libe mecha. You should be used to bringing out the kavanah of your heart and think about it, about the Eibishter. The Eibishter is our Father and He's the source of our life. And you should be me'eira, arouse a love to Him like a love of a son to a father. And then he says, ukeshiyargel atzme kein tomit, if you get used to it constantly, harei hahergel nasa teve. So the being used to it becomes a nature. And then he says further, even it'll seem like it's only an imagination, don't care, etc., because it's be'emes. So here we see that the Rebbe, when he wrote in this Sicha, where it says that hergel nasa teva, al derech hergel nasa teva, that when a nes happens constantly, it becomes like nature and uses al derech like hergel nasa teva. So he bedafki medayik, it should be from Tanya Perik Mem Dalet, not from Tanya Sof Perik Yudalet, even though it seems that it's the same thing. Now, maybe the reason is because the Lashon that he uses in the Sicha, Hergel, Nasa Teva, that those three words are written in Perik Mem Dalet, not in Perik Yudalet. There the Lashon is a little bit different, but the same Teichen. But even if it is, why would he write Mavil if it's not only Achilik in Lashon? Why would he write the word Mavil on it? Now, maybe he feels that if it's a Lashon, you should be Medayik the Lashon, but it seems very strange that the Rebbe was Medayik Dafke Sof Perik Mem Dalet instead of Sof Perik Yudalet, and we could look into it to see what the reason is, but we see how much Rebbe was Medayik even in the Maramokim to Tanya, which seemed to be similar, that it should be exactly the way the Rebbe wants it.